Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network.
And I'm
All right.
mighty tired of your trifling ways.
Gas prices. And believe it or not, by some sheer amount of luck or wizardry, big Harry Potter guy, so maybe, Rupert Grint came out and said expensive petroleum, and all of a sudden everyone got distracted and voted yes. People want change. And everyone's, a keyboard warrior on social media, and they say all their opinions, and they throw stuff out there, and they share posts and comment, and they say we didn't do this, we do that. Are those people going to the polls? A lot of things in our lives that you just can't control. One thing you can is your effort into something.
Some of the old songs.
Welcome, everybody, Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell on a very special Memorial Day edition of Unfiltered live here on the Inside Edge Network. So happy you are with us. And of course, we're kicking things off. Before we mention the network, before we mention where to go, wishing a happy Memorial Day to all those who have served and paid the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. For a long time, I struggled with the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And today is not about just, obviously, it's almost every day you should thank those who have served and that continue to do so. But remembering the millions that lost their lives fighting in the wars that we've had, and now our 250 years coming up here in July of history as a country. So, so thankful for all those that did so, and also obviously thankful for those who continue to serve and those that fight those battles every day. Where we're still in the middle of this thing in Iran. There was a while there we were sending people over into adjacent areas of the Ukraine situation too. So it's ongoing. It's every day, and it's safety for us to be able to do stuff like this, be able to have free media platforms to be able to talk about something as trivial as sports. It matters a lot to have you and those that have fallen do what they do. So appreciate everyone that's been in those moments and in those lines and that have gave their life for me to be able to be sitting here right now, being able to do this for you guys on the Inside Edge Network. A reminder, of course, hey, do not forget to like, subscribe, punch that notification bell over at our different social media platforms at Inside Edge Net across YouTube, X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, the whole 9 yards, and head over to our website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Use that promo code INSIDER. It's the last full week. You get 20% off your purchases. We're trying to get to 10 total items sold. If we can do that, we get to shave Eli's head here on an episode of Unfiltered. Use that promo code 20% off. There's a shop where you get to shop different shirts, hats, polos, windbreaker. I always pause for that one. Coffee mug, cup, all that good stuff. Rep the network, rep local media, grassroots media, and head over to InsideEdgeNetwork.com. To take advantage of everything we have going on over there. Before we talk about Cavs, and I kind of wanted to give you guys a rundown. Today's a very special edition of Unfiltered because normally we deliver a lot of local news. Maybe we'll touch on some sports. It's going to be sports focused today. The Cavs obviously playing game 4 tonight of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks, trying to avoid getting swept. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what the Cavs should do potentially in the offseason, a bunch of different things. Also, I have a couple lists for you guys, my top 5 2026 free agents the Cavs should consider going for. And I'm going to have my top 5 players in the NBA today, which has drawn some criticism, even just from the producer of this show. So we're going to talk about that here coming up in a few minutes. But I wanted to start off the episode today with something I didn't tell Eli about that I thought about while we were just talking, even before, and a little bit during the day, kind of sprinkled in my head about the thought of when do you start paying attention to a major sports regular season? I'm very known and adamant that I usually start paying attention to baseball season, usually around 4th of July. Couple months in, the halfway point, so to speak, whatever it is, that's when I really start to pay attention. And I really start to know. And at that point, I feel like if your team is really good, if they're bad, if they need another move or two to be good, whatever it is. In the NBA, for me, usually it's the new year. It's after a couple months of the season, like maybe a month before the All-Star break, I'll starting to pay attention to it. And I obviously get updates on ESPN. You'll get the dun all those updates or Yahoo Sports or whatever you have downloaded. But I don't really start paying attention until halfway through. The NFL is a little different just because it feels like every week, especially when you're a Browns fan. Sorry, guys, for all those that are Browns fans out there, it feels like week to week you're on edge. Like you just don't know what the hell is going to happen. One week, if you happen to win, everyone's happy and doing backflips in the streets, and people are, excited to pay $80 to fill up their gas tank. The next week, I don't care if gas was 99 cents a gallon. People be like, "This is bullshit." The fucking Browns, and like if you lose, so I feel like the NFL is like the only true sports league where you kind of just have to pay attention. I don't know if it's the fantasy level of that too, and having fantasy drafts, and you're always invested in all the games because players are playing all the way through. And it kind of keeps you interested in the first 14, 15 weeks of the season. Then by the time fantasy football is all wrapped up, oh shit, the playoffs are a couple weeks away, the actual playoffs. So then you really get into it because it's kind of like a ramp up. I wonder what it would take. And I know there's fantasy baseball and fantasy basketball too and all that, but I wonder what it would take for those major sports leagues to catch up to the NFL from a standpoint of how am I going to get interested earlier and really keep that interest? And I'm not talking about, oh, hey, did you see it? They're the month into the season, the Cavs, or they won 5 straight, or they're 10 games over 500 already, or whatever. Like, not trivial stuff, like fully engaged. Like, when week 1 hits in the NFL, everyone is just into it. They're just into it. They can't get away from it. They're everything is just all eyes on the NFL. Like, and then college football, kind of the same way to a point. But even then, a lot of those times, a couple of those first weeks are against if it's not one of those crazy week 1 games where it's like, oh my God, it's Oregon and Alabama. It's like Ohio versus Southern Webb, Eastern University, or Michigan versus Georgia State, Southern Western Reserve, or whatever. Like you're getting a bunch of like these high double A, single A, teams, these divisions, Division 2, Division 3, where it's like, okay, whatever, FCS schools, whatever it is. I'm really curious to know what would be the answer to that. They tried doing the Commissioner's Cup or whatever it is, or the NBA Cup in the beginning parts of the season. I don't know if anyone really cares about that. I mean, I guess the players get a little bit more money, which, hey, I make $25 million a year. You know what I need? An extra couple 100,000. Sure. Bragging rights, I guess, is cool. I don't know if they start putting up banners in arenas, if that's going to matter to anyone. Does it start showing up on the actual stat sheet? Oh, he's a 3-time MVP, he's a 15-time All-Star, and he won the NBA Cup 3 times. Like, that'd be interesting, I guess, if you want to include it like in the fabric of what our stats do. But even then, I don't know. It's just tough. The NFL's got a stranglehold on that. And I was just thinking about that today because I was curious, since we're on the doorstep of the NBA Finals, baseball is in full swing, and baseball's about, I want to say, 60, 70 games in. And even then, it still doesn't feel like I'm really that invested into it yet. Maybe they're a little closer to 50 games. I don't know. But And it's coming towards the end of May, and I'm still not really invested in baseball yet. Like, I haven't really thought a desire to go to a game yet. I haven't really been deep into it. I know that the Guardians have been playing well, just like my Yankees have too, for the most part. But I don't know. Leave a comment, something like that, if you have ideas, because I'm sure that Rob Manfred and Adam Silver watch this podcast every day. So I am sure they'll be able to hear you out. I'm actually just kind of curious. I was like racking my brain trying to figure out what would actually be a good idea to just keep people invested, to keep people wanting to watch in these early parts of the season. And I think it kind of stems over to the wrestling podcast too. We have that in wrestling where there's lulls and trying to find ways to get people invested when it's not WrestleMania or SummerSlam or one of those big things. So, out of curiosity, I'll throw it out there in the universe to see what comes back. Like I said, we have a lot to talk about on the show today. And with that, because there's going to be a little bit of elongated segments, we're going to take our first break now. But when we come back, we're talking Cavs. Kenny Atkinson, yeah, I know he's been a quote machine in these Eastern Conference Finals. He said more dumb shit. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about keys to the game tonight for the Cavs. It's going to be pretty straightforward as far as what they need to do. Also, later in the show, going to talk about their offseason, what the Cavaliers should do. There's some options out there. Put out a poll as well for you guys to kind of, take the temperature and see how you felt about one of the key members, if not possibly the key member of the Cavs moving forward, and what his role could be, and if you want to switch him out for somebody else. We're also going to talk about the free agents in 2026 the Cavs could possibly target. And I have a top 5 players list in the NBA. Now, I broke this down, and again, we'll have the list at the end of the show for you. I broke it down with the top 5 players, and I have an honorable mentions list. I don't want you coming at me. Oh, if you do, whatever, fuck you. But this is my list, all right? But there is one person, and he happens to be the assistant program director of this entire network, the Inside Edge Network, and the producer of this show, who has issue with my list, because apparently top 5 controversial lists on the network are so popular. I decided to dip my big ass toe in one of them, into that pond, into that lake, into that river, into that ocean, into that body of water, that reservoir. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We're going to get into all of that coming up here on Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell here on your Memorial Day. Thank you so much for spending an hour with us here as we get ready for the Cavs 2 Game 4 tonight of the Eastern Conference Finals at home against the Knicks. All that and more coming up next here on Unfiltered. Stay with us. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to sportsmemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. Sportsmemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Chad Bryan and Eli Moon. We are Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network, and we're with you every weeknight from 10 o'clock p.m. to 11 o'clock p.m. or sometimes a little after. And we had a great show here on this Friday, right before your Memorial Day weekend gets going. We talked about those Cleveland Cavaliers. Yes, they're down 0-2, heading back to Cleveland after a disappointing Madison Square Garden experience. How did the Cavs get back on track? We talked about our thoughts after a day to think about it, after game 2. Chad and I talked about it, and then I sat down with Clutch Points and Basketball News and all over the place. Spencer Davies, he had a lot to say about the Cavaliers, gave some perspective, some analysis on the first 2 games, and then gave an outlook at how the Cavs can get this done and get back to their first NBA Finals since 2018. Appreciate Spencer for joining the program, and we cannot wait to have him back on. Thank you, Spencer. And then Chad, of course, I know you would have gave me hell all weekend if we didn't talk baseball. So we talked those Gardos. They're on fire.
They are on fire. They're 4 games up in the Central right now. On of all teams, the White Sox. They've won 7 in a row. Eli, they're doing all kinds of stuff they haven't done in years. We talked about it on the show. If you missed it, check it out.
You're dang right. We are going to enjoy the weekend, and we're going to recharge because when we come back, it's going to be a Memorial Day Monday. We will be with you rocking and rolling. Can't wait to talk to you about all of the sports happenings. What happens over the weekend? Well, we'll find out together. Do the Cavs get it done? We'll find out that too. This is Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. We'll see you at 10 o'clock p.m. right here, Monday evening.
Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell. Do not forget, head over to our Facebook page. It is exactly like the show name, Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell. In that search bar, top of your app, give us a like, a follow. All the stories we talk about usually are going to be talked about here on the show. Anything shared, we got it for you right there. Now, back to the show.
And I'm getting mighty tired of your trifling ways and of listening to that bray.
For all time's sake. As time goes by.
Well, Chad and Eli are going to have a lot to talk about tonight. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals is this evening. But before all that, you get me until 6 o'clock here on Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell. So happy you are with us here on your Memorial Day as we get you ready for the game tonight. Quick reminder, do not forget to like, subscribe, punch that notification bell at Inside Edge Net there, YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and everything in between. Give us a like, follow, subscribe. And do not forget, head over to our website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. You get personalities, you get the different show rundowns, and of course, you can head over to our merchandise shop where until the end of May, you can use the promo code INSIDER to get 20% off of any purchase there. Take advantage of that, save some money, and rep local grassroots media like us here at the Inside Edge Network. All right, let's talk Cavs because we have to. And then, honestly, excuse me, it came down to today being a bit of a lighter show. It being Memorial Day, and like I mentioned at the top of the program, normally we get more deeper into some news stuff and some real things that are impactful in the community in Northeast Ohio, and honestly throughout maybe the state, even the country, possibly the world, depending on the story, depending on the day. Man, these Cavs, good Lord, what a rough stretch. Now down 0-3, and if you ask Kenny Atkinson, which I don't know if we had the picture of the clip, Eli. I think we just have the picture, but the picture of the quote of what Kenny Atkinson said, I believe it was yesterday, possibly even this morning, I don't know, was maybe one of the dumbest things I've ever seen a coach say, down 3-0 in a series. Okay. Eli's got the video. We're going to play that for you now. You have to hear this to believe it because, my God, go ahead.
Analytically, I think we won the I said 3 out of 3. We're 2 out of 3 in the expected. I don't know if you guys follow that. It's an expected score, and we won 2 out of 3. And I know you're looking confused, but I'm not. There is really, if you believe in process and all that, like man up. So take that later. I know I don't throw that on them. I see it for myself. I'm like, man. I have this feeling, then I can go to our analytical table and be like, man, we are, in last think last night it was the expected score was like 1 point or 2. Us shooting way below expected, them shooting way over. You know, I know no one wants to hear that. I think you guys like hearing it. I know, you know, general public, no one wants to hear that. Everyone's outcome based. And, you know, sure, I get that too.
Yeah, sure. We get that, Kenny, because you are working in an outcome industry. Most people that work any job, anywhere, you have to produce, you have to have outcome in your favor to be considered good at your job. He wasn't talking about fucking analytics when they were up 3-2 in the series against Detroit. Where was the analytic table then, Mr. Atkinson? Now, all of a sudden, because you're down 0-3 and you look like you're a bad coach that's made bad decisions and you've made some adjustments that look good for a minute or two and then went away from them immediately, like playing Jalen Tyson or actually focusing on getting the big men involved in the game, that now all of a sudden you want to bring out fucking analytics and say that you should have won 2 out of the 3? How about the analytic of you holding on to a 22-point lead in game 1 and not demoralizing your roster by not making the changes necessary or calling a timeout during any of that? Where's the analytics on that one? This is going to be one of the craziest things I've seen a coach come out and say in the process of literally getting swept at home in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're not in the first round. This is not a, you know, a lower graphic team. Or what a terrible quote. Analytically, we've won 2 out of 3. Yeah, well, realistically, you've lost all 3 games and you blew a 22-point lead. And for some reason now in the second half of games 2 and 3, you decided you didn't want to play basketball. And here we are. Motivate your guys. Kenny Atkinson sits on the bench more than I sit at home doing my day job when I work remote from home. And that's saying something because I have to sit in the chair for 8 hours a day and do that job. This dude just will not stand up. Maybe in the first quarter for a couple minutes he's up, but other than that, he's on his ass on the bench. Take some fucking ownership of your team and demand greatness from great players because no one's denying the talent. You got LeBron James on his podcast, like, oh, the Cavs, they have all the talent. They had Jekyll and Hyde, that's, yeah. My God, Kenny. Someone put out a good quote or a good point earlier. I saw it in a comment somewhere. It's like, you know what? That's very much something an assistant coach says. Yeah, because that's where you're going. We thought his job was safe. Even if he would have lost in 6 or 7 against the Knicks, hey, you know what? Tough series. New York is just rolling. Like, you know, but you still found a way to get a couple games. You made it interesting. You fought. The Cavs showed fight. Great. Cool. You know what? He's earned a chance to try and figure this out with Kobe Altman and those guys and try to either run it back or make one little adjustment or whatever it is and give it a shot with a full season in 2026-7. But, dude, getting swept. And I'll tell you what, the Knicks, they have gotten a huge break with the way this schedule all shaked out. I'm not trying to take anything away from New York. They're playing great basketball, but the timing of who they're playing is very convenient. They beat the Sixers coming off an emotional 7-game series where Joel Embiid finally wins a game 7 for the first time in his career. He was 0-4 in game 7s before they won that series in the first round against Boston. So Philadelphia already won the championship in their mind. They get swept. The Cavs and Donovan Mitchell finally get over the LeBron James-less hump of, we got back to an Eastern Conference Finals without 23 running up and down the court. And then for the first time since 92. So we're good. We can take a break. And the Cavs do come out and play great basketball in game 1. Then they take the foot off the gas so much that the coach takes his foot off the gas so much that the Knicks come back and they win in overtime by 11. There's your analytics. You lost by 11. Wasn't a 3-point game, and if we would have shot 3 percentage points better, we would have won by 10. No, you lost by double digits in every game. What are you talking about? What analytic makes sense that says, yeah, we should have won 2 out of 3? Fucking where? You shot like shit the past 2 games. Game 1, you shot like shit in the fourth quarter. You forgot how to play offensive basketball. That was why they brought you here. To be an offensive coach. That's why the guy in Detroit didn't get to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's why he's back home. They sent him packing. 2 hours north, 20 minutes by flight, because he couldn't coach offense and he wasn't innovative and he wouldn't make changes or adjustments. Doesn't look good for Kenny. And it doesn't help that there is coaches out there, someone like a Jason Kidd, who's got the experience, who's done it on both sides of the ball. He's won a championship. He's been a successful head coach. He's taken that team in Dallas to the finals one year with Luka, with a star, who had some question marks about his fitness, about could he really carry a team all the way there, or was he just going to be a stat stuffer or whatever it was? And he did that. And they ran into a tough Boston team, and it is what it is. But at least they fought. I forget if it was 5 or 6 games, but I mean, hell, at least they got a game out of it. Anybody really realistically believe the Cavaliers are going to win tonight? What has given you any impression with 7 minutes to go in game 1 till now that the Cavaliers have any fight left? You think they really want to fly all the way to New York just to get beaten game 5 at MSG? Think they really want to fly to New York to have to fly back here to Cleveland to play another game after that? I think they're done. They're satisfied. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Next year, we'll make it to the finals. Next year, we'll set the new goal. Next year, we'll get there. In the meantime, Knicks are going to go to the finals, winning 11 straight games after tonight, and they're going to have all the confidence in the world. And the 2 teams out west are just beating the shit out of each other so hard that the Knicks may find a way to win that series because they're all going to be tired and just beat the shit. Because the Western Conference right now, again, I'll tell you guys, that is the NBA Finals. Back and forth we go. 2 of the best players in the league, in Shea and Wemby, going back and forth. That's the NBA's wet dream. That's what they want. They're going to get the Knicks in the finals, obviously, but they could get away and find a way to have the Spurs and Thunder in a 7-game series for the NBA championship. It'd be one of the highest rated NBA finals ever. And yeah, it'd be through the roof. I don't know what's going to happen out there, but I can tell you what's going to happen tonight. It's rough. I got keys to the game. We can throw them up on the screen now. I decided to make graphics for you guys today since we weren't doing a lot of new stuff. Here you go. Keys to the Cavs game 4 win. Read along with Kyle. Effort, anyone? I mean, that's the number one thing. How bad do you want this? Like, are you done? Or do you really want to win this? Do you really want to make this a series? Do you want to have some sort of pride, not only for the name and the numbers on the front of your jerseys, but the name and numbers on the back? Because it doesn't matter if you made it to an Eastern Conference Finals, Donovan, if you get swept by a team that a lot of people think you have more talent than. Second thing is lean on the young guys and the bigs. Jalen Tyson needs to play. Sam Merrill needs to play. Max Strus needs to play. Keon Ellis may need to play. Some of these younger guys that can get you more pace and get you easy baskets and can push the ball into the forecourt that are aggressive on defense. Let them use the fouls. Fuck it. I don't care if New York shoots 30, 40 free throws tonight. Like, be aggressive. Play like you actually want to win something. And play through Evan Mobley and pick and roll with Jared Allen. They have the high pick and roll where they run it with Evan Mobley, where they get Mobley the ball at the high key, right by the free throw line on a screen and pass off on a pick and roll. And Mobley crashes the rim and either lobs it at Jared Allen or he goes one-on-one and he finishes inside. That play has worked every time. This is your advantage. You don't have more wings or more talented wings. Your guard play, I'd consider it a wash based on Jalen Brunson, who we're going to have a talk about him later because, my God, he's that dude. Like, he just shows up. His off nights are like the 19-point, 13 assist night in game 2. That's his off night. Like, that's crazy. He needs to start getting some respect because that dude is doing something special. And he has been for a couple of years now. The last thing, too, need to hit open shots. Kenny mentioned that in part of his clip from earlier. They have to hit open shots. If you're one of those shooters, if you're Strus, if you're Merrill, Donovan, any of these guys, you have to hit open shots. If the work is done and you have an open opportunity, it's got to go in half the time. This team hasn't lost in New York. They forget. It's been over a month. They forgot what it's like to lose games. They just don't know how right now. You have to show them. You have to. You can't hope that they're going to make mistakes or they're going to fall short or they're going to shoot terrible from the field again and not have any effort or whatever it is. They're not going to sleep on you guys. They want this shit over. They want to rest and get ready. Because they know the next challenge, the finals, that's the big challenge. Not just because it's the finals, but because of the two teams that they could be playing against. One team is the defending champion. They know how to win. The other team has got, I think, the best player on the planet right now. And a litany of amazing role players and guys that are like stars or fringe stars that can step up and make plays. So, I don't know. You have to just, it's three very simple things. It's so simple. Effort, youth, with the big guys being involved heavily, and then just make the open shots. It's not rocket science, Kenny. And maybe don't let James Harden dribble around for about another half hour. He was brought in to supplement and take some ball handling off of Donovan Mitchell and get the offense moving and engaged and get 8, 9, 10 assists a game. If James Harden has one more game where he has more turnovers than made field goals, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Like, look, it's insane. I may jump on the post game tonight with Chad and Eli if he does that again. Because I will ride that horse out of town immediately. He needs to just have a clean game. I don't need you to shoot 75% from the field, but like just keep the turnovers to a minimum, be the distributor you're brought in to be, and the second or third option scoring when needed in proper moments. I don't need James Harden dribbling the ball down 12, trying to make a play when 36 going on 37-year-old James Harden can't get by anybody. Everyone's on his hip or in front of him when he drives. Like, all right. Quick break. On the other side, we're going to talk what the Cavs should do in the offseason. There's a bunch of different rumors flying out there. We're going to talk about the top free agents, too, in this 2026 class, who I think the Cavs should target. I have a list from 5 to 1. We're going to break that down. And then my top 5 players in the NBA today. I'm going to mention a little bit lighter topics because it's Memorial Day, trying to keep it fun for you guys. But it got a little heated over one of the guys on my list. We're going to dive into that coming up here on Unfiltered. Stay with us.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick. With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh. I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
Monster Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at monstermomentsphotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. monstermomentsphotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am driving back from Chicago. Coming up tonight on Midnight Run, we're not going to talk about the final score of Cavs-Knicks. We're going to talk about how the Cavaliers, according to analytics, they're leading the series. They're leading the conference finals. Kenny Atkinson, come on, man. We'll talk about that, plus a lot more. A lot of great stuff to get into tonight and this week. We are live and local here on the Inside Edge Network. Midnight Run coming up tonight, right here.
Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Unfiltered here with Kyle Cornell. Before we get back to the show, really quick, do not forget, head over to InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Got plenty to look at from personality profiles. You can check out the full schedule of shows, 13 and counting. It's awesome. And you can head over to the merch shop. Shirts, polos, windbreakers, coffee cups, mugs, the whole 9 yards. It's all there right for you. Head over InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Now, back to Unfiltered.
And I'm getting mighty tired of your trifling ways and of listening to that jack bray.
For all time's sake. As time goes by.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the analytics are going to say after tonight. God. Double A makes his triumvirate return to Midnight Run tonight after our Cavs post game with Chad and Eli. Going to be fun. He said, depending on my mood, maybe I'll end up shooting Eli a text and joining that conversation. I know how much Chad loves how unhinged I can be on those post game shows. And I was supposed to be on Game 5 post game, but we may not have one. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't want to infringe on the guy's space, but at the same point, I may have some things I need to say that won't be able to wait until tomorrow at 5 o'clock here on Unfiltered. Speaking of which, appreciate you stopping by on this special Memorial Day edition. Do not forget to like, subscribe, punch that notification bell you see right there at Inside Edge Net across all the different social media platforms. And as always, head over to that website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. You saw right there in the break back into the show. Personality profiles, show rundown, and the merchandise shop until the end of May. Use that promo code INSIDER to get 20% off of your purchase there. Plenty of things to look at. And again, 10 items. By the end of May, we get to shave young Elijah Mooningham's head on an episode of Unfiltered. I'm crossing my fingers. I want to hit that goal. So let's get there. Okay. So we gave keys. We talked about the Cavs and what they need to do to win tonight, which I don't have a lot of confidence in. But I'm curious about the options in the postseason. I should say the offseason. We're in the postseason, but the offseason now, when the season eventually comes to an end, which very well could be in just a few short hours. Before we get into my top 5 free agent picks who I think they should try and target, mind you, these are free agents, unrestricted. They're going to be just straight up, just free agents. There's no hang-ups or whatever it is. You can go after these guys. It's not, they don't have player options because those guys can opt in or whatever it is. There's no messiness with these ones. There's a couple things that were floating around, and I actually want to start with the poll we put up on the Facebook page because I told you guys we do this almost daily. And we put polls out, and this was outstanding. The amount of people that I put up. Who would you rather have, Giannis Antetokounmpo for the next 5 years or Evan Mobley for 10? And literally all of you, literally every single person who voted, we had a decent amount of people vote, said they'd rather have Giannis for 5 than Evan Mobley for 10. I know this can be a little bit of a recency bias just because we're watching what Evan Mobley is and isn't doing right now in front of our eyes. And I'm not trying to make a case because I'm the one that also voted for Giannis too. I think it just lines up more with your time frame with Donovan Mitchell as your guy. If you really want to re-sign him like they do, they want to re-sign him in the offseason. Like, he just aligns more with that. A 30-year-old Giannis aligns more with a 28, 29-year-old Donovan Mitchell as far as like, hey, let's win this championship now in the next year or two, that kind of stuff. And I think he just brings more of a toughness and an overall kind of play the Cavs could enjoy. But I will say Evan Mobley's ceiling, and this has always been the potential, is Kevin Garnett. The defense, the shooting, even the type of shot he has, it's a little bit slower than KG's. KG, obviously, once he got to Boston, he was firing that shit off quick. But I mean, like, he just kind of reminds me of what Kevin Garnett was, but like a light version, literally, not as heavy and just kind of not fully there yet. But there's no reason I think this guy couldn't be, with that skill set, a 25, 10-5 guy who also gets a couple blocks a game and is in the conversation for MVPs. I just don't know if that's going to happen in Cleveland because of who's here. They focused on Donovan Mitchell as the centerpiece. And unless some crazy thing happens in the offseason where he says, trade me, I mean, they're gonna have to look at Evan and be like, okay, do we build around this guy or do we ship him off and get someone like Giannis or one of those guys? Or, God, don't even get me there. I see like the John Morant stuff and all that too. I don't know if I want that. I'm not a big fan. There's also been talk. I've seen some very, very small things about someone like Zion or whatever it is, and I don't. Again, 2019, sure, I would have been interested, but now it's like I don't know. The big story though that has been circulating amongst a lot of the different Cavs message boards and things like that has been, what are the chances the Cavs could find a way to get not only LeBron, but Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love back for one more run? And all it would take would be maybe moving Mobley to Dallas for Kyrie Irving, signing LeBron, signing Kevin Love. I'm all for nostalgia. That 2016 team will be celebrated forever in the city of Cleveland. Some people almost don't appreciate that championship enough as they should, which blows my mind because that's one of the best teams and one of the best finals, if not the best finals ever. I don't see that happening. I see one name coming, and we'll bring him up in a second, but I think Kyrie's happy in Dallas. That team believes in him. They've paid him multiple times over. Even through the injury, he's still there. Kevin Love is kind of a wild card with all this because it depends on what he wants his role to be. I think Kevin Love in this kind of series could have mattered. Another big that can get rebounds. He can pass the ball out of in the outlet and get it out in the fast break so they get some easy buckets, and he can hit open threes. Or take over for a little bit and give you 10 to 15 points. He showed he could still do that in Utah when they actually played him, when they weren't trying to tank their season. Like, he showed he still has the ability to do some of those things that attracted LeBron to want him to be here in the first place. So that's going to be up to him and his situation and all that, whether he want to come back. He's always said Cleveland's been a special place, and it will be. He won his championship here. He was the guy for a couple of years here. Granted, those are bad teams, and Darius Garland also was kind of the figurehead of that too, but still. I don't know. Kyrie, LeBron, K-Love reunion in Cleveland? It's not that I'm against it. It just feels like they never should have broken up in the first place. You know, if Golden State was able to go out and get Kevin Durant, why couldn't the Cavs figure it out? Be like, okay, we need to get someone else in here then to match this. Which the Kevin Durant experiment ended shortly after that anyway. So they would have just been patient, and Kyrie would have just been like, okay, I can wait a few years. We can wait this out. He's not going to stay there forever. Maybe there would have been a chance to win multiple championships in Cleveland. But that ship has sailed. You know what has it? The free agent class of 2026. I have 5 guys that I think the Cavaliers should target. Yeah, graphics. I went all out for you guys today. Number 5 on my list, I believe, is Norman Powell. Yeah, Norman Powell, I should say. This is a strictly for Donovan Mitchell type move. This is James Harden with less turnovers. 22 points this year. I believe he averaged 22, career high. Can handle the ball, great on defense, plays for Miami currently. They could be looking to move off of him anyway for the Giannis situation. So There's possibility there. If they can get dumped off somewhere else, Cleveland could be a third team in that deal if they don't get Giannis. But he's a guy, look at a guard, plays the 2, but can play the 1 if needed, take some pressure off of Donovan Mitchell, hit some shots, score a little bit, physical. He's kind of like Josh Hart if Josh Hart shot 40% from 3. If that makes sense. Number 4 is more of a point guard. That's Kobe White. He's kind of been hamstrung in Charlotte because LaMelo Ball is the point guard. But Kobe White, 17, 3-3 this past season, a great scorer of the basketball. He's tall too, 6'4", 6'5", almost 200 pounds, but quick, young. I think he's only 24. Matches more with the timeline of an Evan Mobley, but still someone that maybe it could be one of those other options, one of those guys that can get you 15 points to 20 points on a night where you're like, oh, we need that. Number 3, Robert Williams. This would require some finagling, but the physicality, the defense, the double-double machine, this is what you want Jared Allen to be consistently, is what Robert Williams is. When he's healthy and he's on the court, it's shocking what he brings on both sides of the basketball, the lob threat, the screen threat, the ability to free up guys to get open, and obviously defensively, just so fun to watch. I think he's 28 as well. He's younger. He fits in the Donovan Mitchell time frame. That makes some sense if they want to try and shake some things up. This screams Jared Allen for Robert Williams if they decide to do that. Number 2. Yeah, kind of obvious. He's not number 1, and I'll tell you why. The only thing that gives me pause with LeBron is, 1, the money. Is he going to require a sign and trade, or would he just sign with the Cavs and sell his retirement tour rights, which will pay him more than his NBA salary would? Other than that, he's the perfect fit for what this team needs. They need a 3 who can be a primary scorer if needed, who can distribute, who can play defense when needed, who's long enough to switch on some 4s, maybe even some 5s, depending on the team he's playing and the lineup. I mean, he just fits what they need. But that's why this guy is number 1 for me. Absolutely. His shooting percentage from 3 alone is just insane. The guy shot, I believe, 46% from 3 in the playoffs. His scoring went down a little bit in LA this year, but that's because they had a lot of fluctuation with injuries, with Luka and LeBron in and out of the lineup, whatever it is. Austin Reeves having a crazy start to the year too. Like Rui, 6'8", 6'9" wing, who can play the stretch 4 if you need to, but really good at the 3 spot. Great defender, hits open shots, aggressive, makes free throws, makes 3s. If you're looking to keep most of this team together and maybe tweak it a little bit, he's the one guy I consider going after. But that's just me. And there you go. My top 5 2026 NBA free agents, top 5-ish. I had ish because I also had CJ McCollum on there too, but we don't need the age. We're good. He's 34. He's past what we need. But there you go. And honestly, man, I think Rui could be the piece that could put them over the top just because of his size, his length, and what he does. Even if they moved off of Jared Allen to get him or whatever it is, I would like that a lot. So, just me. When we come back, got to get into this. One last break. Top 5 players in the NBA today. Eli is mad. I'll tell you why next. Stay with us. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Hey, look at you guys. You made it to the last segment of the show. How awesome is that? Thank you so much for watching Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell. Do not forget, give us a like, follow us over on our Facebook page. It is exactly like the show title, Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell. In that search bar, see us, follow us, like, get involved with the polls I post almost daily on our Facebook page. Again, Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell. Now, over to me, final segment of the show.
And I'm getting mighty tired of your trifling ways and of listening to that bray.
For all time's sake. As time goes by.
Monday, May 25th here, 2026 on Memorial Day. Thank you so much for stopping by Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell. Again, do not forget, like, subscribe, punch that notification bell at Inside Edge Net across all social media platforms. And, of course, the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Use that promo code INSIDER to get 20% off of your purchases through the end of May. Insider in the merchandise shop at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. All right. So, I have formulated a top 5 players in the NBA list. And before we reveal the list, I want to reveal the honorable mentions first. And Eli will throw that up on the screen here. I'm going to get some shit for Giannis and Ant. I know that. But again, Anthony Edwards, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, despite Jaylen Brown apparently and Stephen A. having a Crips versus Bloods war on social media and in the media world. Joel Embiid is in there because when healthy, I still think he's one of the best big men in the league. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant still doing crazy stuff despite being older. And I threw Cade Cunningham in there as well. I think you guys saw that last series. That dude is special. Like he's going to be in this top 5 relatively soon once some of the older guys start to kind of move their way out. Okay. This caused some issues. So I want to bring Eli in. Hopefully I can hear him. That's going to be always the important
Testing
thing.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Speak.
Can you hear me?
Can't hear him. Shit. All right.
Oh,
well,
no.
That's unfortunate. So we're not going to get Eli. Of course, you guys probably could, but for some reason, he's the only person that does this where I just can't hear him. So he's going to have to suffer while I tell him why his point's full of shit. Let's throw up the top 5 that I have in the NBA today. Number 5, I have Jalen Brunson. I got to tell you guys, at some point, this dude just deserves it. He's been playing out of his mind for the past couple years in New York, and now it's resulting in a game away from being in the NBA Finals. He's the best player on the best team in the Eastern Conference right now, and it's not even close as far as the talent level he just shows. I give credit to Mikal Bridges. He's been shooting the ball extremely well this postseason. OG Anunoby has done enough. He's been a great complimentary piece, complimentary, like kind of fringe star who gets you 15 to 20 now in this series and has been consistent. Good defender, all that stuff. But Jalen Brunson is the best player on that team by a mile. And his stats over the past couple years, and in the playoffs too, leading the playoffs scoring. I mean, he just had an unbelievable run again. He's my number 5. Number 4 is Nikola Jokic. This guy averaged a 28-point triple-double. He led the league in rebounds and assists this year. As far as skilled big men ever in the game, not the most athletic, not the most talented, or even the most really, honestly, motivated. Because he's got other things he loves a lot more than basketball, I think. He loves basketball, but there's like a hierarchy. There's like a 1A to 1B type thing. He's not there, but as far as overall skill, this dude just has everything, and he still gets you 28 a night. I mean, what an amazing player. He's still in my top 5. He was obviously in the running for MVP. This is where it got a little controversial because Mr. Mooningham is not a fan of my number 2, but number 3 is Luka. I think his again, overall skill is fantastic. He drops the ball on defense a lot. I think he can be a little bit of a liability on the defensive end. He worked really hard to get in better shape, which is great, but he still had injury problems this past year. So he needs to get healthy and play a couple seasons in a row to really try and supplant the two guys that are ahead of him, because these guys are going to be around. They just don't get hurt too often. I mean, Victor had a blood clot. Like, that's the only reason why he's really missed any time, is because of that, or when he decided to just elbow the fuck out of that dude in the last series in against Minnesota. I forget if it was Naz Reid or whoever it was, but he just got knocked the fuck out. My number 2 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and this is the problem that Eli had with this. He thinks Shai's a top 5 guy, but he didn't say he was number 2. He thinks he has Luka, and I think Jokic probably over him as well. I think if he had it his way, he'd have him at 4. I have Shai at 2 because the stats are just it's unbelievable. He's a defending champion. He's won a championship. He's won a Finals MVP. He's now won back-to-back MVPs, something that Nikola Jokic has done, and who is in the honorable mention list, Giannis has done, and obviously LeBron and a few others. If he wins the championship again this year and another Finals MVP, Eli brought this up. Only 2 guys would have done that in the history of the game in back-to-back years, and that would be Michael Jordan and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's got to mean something. Also, he's averaged 30 points per game in 4 consecutive seasons. He's won a scoring title. For his career, he's 25, 5, and 5, and that's after his first 2 seasons that were kind of rough. First year in the Clippers and the first year with OKC before OKC said, oh, we have something here. Let's give it to Shai and let him run the ship. Then they started winning 60 games a year, and now obviously you see where they're at. Also, this season too, he mentioned he wanted to really kind of figure things out from the field. This is a guy that shot 55% from the mid-range or from the field in general as a mid-range shooter. It's a low percentage shot. And he's shooting 55%. That's almost top 10 in the league. Most of the guys that are in the top 10 are centers, guys that like DeAndre Ayton, who take no shots essentially outside of the paint, except for maybe 1-3 a game. But they're the ones that shoot, like mid-60s. Or JaVale McGee was like known for like always leading the league in shooting percentage because he'd shoot 66% from the field because he had like 10 dunks a game or whatever it was. Like, this guy takes jump shots. He shot almost 40% from 3 this year. And I get it. Talented team, all that stuff. Of course, it takes more than one player to do it. LeBron, he didn't win a championship until he had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen and those guys, those amazing role players. It takes a full team. But no, this is the guy right now. But he's not the guy. Shai's the guy, but he's not the guy. And the guy is Victor Wembanyama at number 1. I'm tired of waiting. People want to say it's next year, it's the year later. Regardless of what happens in this series with Oklahoma City, he is the best player on the planet right now. Period. At 22 years old. The shooting, the rebounding, the defense, the scoring, the passing, every facet of the game, he's got it. And he's 7'4". This is like if Yao Ming could dribble. Like, this is what we're talking about. If Yao Ming could, like, picture like football terms, if Yao Ming could run like a 4.40, that's Victor Wembanyama. I should preface this. Victor is, I think, an inch or 2 shorter than Yao Ming. So my apologies to one of the most fun big men to watch play basketball ever. But he's being supplanted by this one. And San Antonio has this trend. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, these big men that are going to take over the game. This is a bold prediction now, but Victor will finish with probably at least 3 championships. He's going to have a bunch of MVPs. It's a different age, too, for them, so he's going to win and get more scoring opportunities, but he's my number 1. And that's just where it is. So Victor 1, Shai 2, Luka 3, Jokic 4, and Brunson 5 as my top 5 NBA players. Today, I'm going to post that list on social media. I want all the backlash. I want all the bullshit. Maybe Eli and Chad will talk about it tonight since top 5 lists apparently blow up on this channel. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's where I sit. And I get there could be some people that say Giannis can move into there. I get some people that say Anthony Edwards can move in there. But that's where we're at. And that's where I'm at. That's going to wrap it up for me today. Again, I appreciate you guys stopping by here on Unfiltered on this special Memorial Day live edition of the show. Again, before you go, do not forget, you should always know that you belong, you matter, you're worth it. You're doing great. You're loved. You can do anything. You have a voice. And I believe in you. I will see you guys tomorrow right here, 5 o'clock on Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell here all along the Inside Edge Network. Until then, have a great rest of your Memorial Day. Maybe we'll talk about Cavs going to game 5. Maybe not. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, folks.